Hello fellow gamers, this is Jason with GXP. Today we're talking about Savage Survival and we're talking about EOC, which is Epic of Conquerors. Also, this is my second season, so we're doing the tragedy of the Luminous twins. So what I really want to get into is a brief overview of this EOC and kind of what's really good about being a part of EOC. As far as the things I'm searching for right now are Beast Relic Chests. And this EOC, we have Beasts of level 45 and Wildings of level 42 that are dropping Blue Relic Chests. Love it. This is the point where free-to-play players start to get something worth something. And I'm excited to show you. Plus, I'm digging deep into the Beast Relics. I'm going to start a series, the series of Beast Relics, and there's a lot of information that goes into it. So, before I jump into this video, I want to thank everyone that's subscribed to this point. I also want to let you know that on my Facebook page, you're able to see diagrams and charts and different information about the game that I'm posting that I really take time to develop to help people understand the full scope of the game. So if you have a chance, check that out. It's GXP on Facebook. You will definitely see the artwork that I put out there, and the information that I put out there is worth following that Facebook page. Also, my YouTube channel. I bust my butt to make these videos, so please subscribe. And also, if you can let your teammates know that this information is available, let them know that you advise they subscribe as well. It will help me out dramatically. The more people that subscribe, the more people that watch, the better I can put these videos together. So, with that being said, here we go. Beast Relics, deep dive. So in the event center, you will see Epic of Conquerors. This is where you see a lot of the information about the EOC. And right off the bat, before I even jump into the map or anything like that, I want to talk about this second EOC. We have two things that are being established for future EOCs to come. First one is the Star Blessing, being able to develop each additional attribute of the troops, as well as creating EOC specific skills that you can utilize in future EOCs. The good thing about the Star Blessings is that whatever you do during this EOC in this Star Blessings section stays with you. So the faster you can develop it, the sooner you can have those skills, the longer you'll be able to use them. That is the first key point about the second EOC that we've entered. And you can see these stat overviews and all the skills, and it's tremendous how much of a buff each one of these trees give you. So with that being said, the Prima Blessings are specific for this one EOC. So on the map for EOC, we currently have the ability to build territories like we always do, but these little mines right here, they're called the Prima Cluster Mines. They are what give you the Prima resources to develop that Prima Blessings tree. So that is the second EOC that we've entered, and that is the establishment of those. And I expect those to continue on every EOC from this point forward. The Prima Blessings are only good for the current EOC you're in. The Star Blessings are good for all future ones. So, with that being said, let's talk about what I'm most excited about, and that's the Wilding and the Monsters that provide Blue Relic Chests. Level 42 Rhino provides you an opportunity, not every time, but an opportunity for blue chests. And it also provides you an opportunity for purple chests. That is phenomenal. It's exciting to see because it costs a lot of money to get your relic chests if you're buying them with gems, or if you're buying them from the store. They are expensive. And Wi've shown in previous videos that you can get them from the harbor and they're slightly discounted, but being able to kill a wildling and have a chance for them and get them, that is awesome. So that's the first really big exciting point. The second is the monstrosities. So a level 45 monstrosity, which is the Infernal Hornsteed, love it, gives you the same chance for a Blue Relic Chest. And purple is 10%, blue is 20%. That's exciting. I also want to kind of jump into some of the things that I've been working on. A lot of people only get to see the relics in this view once they've added them to a beast. The other way of seeing them in your inventory, where under battle, you get all these, and it's really hard to make sense of what this is, you know, and it's even harder to understand how to apply the relic sets to what beasts to get the greatest effect. So that's kind of where my series begins. I've started to put together a series based on the color level of the relic sets. So there's white, green, blue, purple, orange, and gold. And then from there, each level has so many sets inside of it. They're basically, you're looking for a 3-piece of one type of set or a 5-piece of one type of set. And that is when you get the maximum benefit of each individual item or relic of that color of that set, and the additional buffs that come when you get the 3 or 5 pieces. And now what I'm rolling out is the deep dive into each set from this point forward. I'm going to start with the blue. The blue is where I kind of want to focus today. And let me get a little prepared and I'll come back with more detail. Hang tight. All right, so for the first blue relic set, I want to talk about wind. It's geared towards the riders. I've struggled a little bit in getting all of the 5 pieces, but I have supplemented with one of the purple that I've received that kind of fits slightly into it because of the star affix. That's a little ahead of what I'm getting into today, but I just kind of want to gloss over. There's a lot of details coming. For the wind set, you have the feather, and it focuses on HP for the rider, damage for the rider, and it increases the overall endurance and strength. The next one is the armband. It's rider attack and barbarian attack, behemoth attack. Because Rex, Great Rex is rider specific, the 18% attack boost, awesome. The wind armor, the rider defense is increased, also throws in a better endurance and a better behemoth buff. And the rope does damage, 5% increase, does endurance, agility, etc. These are pretty easy to see. And then you couple that when you get the 5-piece, you get maximum benefits. And that's where understanding that wind focuses on rider and that each individual piece has specific enhancements. Getting the full set makes it better for that specific beast. Great Rex focuses on riders. So does the Panther. I'm running a complete green set of wind. Now, if I were to move those up into blue, you're starting to do much better based on the Panther having a preset buffs for riders. All right. And the other one for riders that I've been looking at is the Chrysalex. It's got a buff for attack and a buff for defense, as well as damage. It does include several others because of the relics that I've mixed in here. You can see that I have a wind, and then the rest are greens. So I'm trying to, I don't have enough blue to make it a 3-piece set, but I have enough green to make it a 3-piece set. So what I've done is I've just added the 2 blues to the 3-piece green set to get my max stats, and there they are. Now, you're not gonna run just a single rider formation. You could, but I like to mix it up a little bit. So my preferred formation is Great Rex, Tiger, and Gilded Rex. And let's jump into the Tiger so you can see. I've switched the Tiger over to Wind because I want its stats to be specific for rider buffs. Because of the 5-piece set, I'm able to get 250% increase on rider attack. So it also works with barbarians. And if I wanted to make tiger specific for barbarians, what I would do is I'd switch this over to a fire set. So let me just open that up real quick. Let's replace it with a fire set. And right here. And then let's look at, I get a 3-piece buff for barbarians and a 5-piece buff for barbarians. So if I wasn't doing a rider focused formation and I was doing a barbarian focused formation, I would switch over to the fire set, and I'd try and get it into the green, blue, purple range as best as possible. And then for the Gilded Rex, I'm running a earth. So let me switch this over. This will be replace this one with earth. Alright. And replace this one with earth. Replace this one. Oh, that's not earth. But I do want to make it green for this part. I'm in essence running a behemoth riders formation using these 3 beasts and the gear. So as far as a deep dive into the actual configuration that I have, this is a recent attack that I did where I sent 276k against 260k. The defender had a blue, a gold, and a purple dino. They weren't very strong, they didn't have very many relics, but I want to point out our blue beasts do not have combat skills. Do not use them for combat. Purple, you can get away with. Gold, exceptional. So my lineup. You can click on each one of them and see what someone has in their formation as far as their gear. So click on it, look at it. But what's important to understand is how you are setting up your troops to match the relic gear that you have. It's not the preferred setup formation that I like. My stats show I'm okay in Barbarian, but not really strong, and definitely not strong enough to compete with the stronger players. My riders are extremely strong, and they are capable of doing their job, but I didn't have a lot of them in this formation when I sent them to attack. These are not my best matching troops to these stats, so let me go to a different battle and show you something more aligned. Alright, so this alignment is more configured with the correct troops. I sent 276k up against 415k. You can see they have relics on them, they have decent skills. Here's the real difference of that last formation to this formation. I have a certain portion of Guardians, I have a much higher portion of Behemoths and Marauders, then I have a huge amount of my mounted archers and a small percentage of my Vanguard. And they match up very well with my Rider buffs and my Behemoth buffs. And that is how the skills of the beast, the relics that you put on those beasts, give you the maximum buffs. And then it's about how you associate the troops that both those relics and beasts come together to give you the maximum effect to be able to attack someone that has a lot more troops and be able to have a far less wounded ratio. I can break down the details here, which is, Rex did pretty good in killing 16,000. These aren't great kill numbers, right? But the buffs are what I cared about. And as you can see here, our T10 Guardians and my T9 Raiders to protect my T9 Killers. I sent 160,000 and they killed 290,000. And I had a ton of them surviving. So that tells me that this formation with those beasts, these relic gears, that I'm able to do some damage with it. As I said, my focus is right now on the blue relic sets. So I have a complete chart on Facebook, which you can find what I'm showing you on screen right now, which is there's a master set for fire, there's a master set for wind, there's a master set for earth, there's a master set for star, and there's a master set for moon. The next set is fire, that I want to talk about real quick and fire is barbarian specific. You have the helm, the bracers, the armor, the greaves, and the necklace. Next one after that comes Earth is behemoth focused. The 5-piece makes them tough as nails, and this is where I get excited for free-to-play players, because if you can start to get 20% buffs or better on behemoths, riders, on hunters, on any of your troops, it starts to make a better impact on your formations that you're trying to build. So I get excited when I start to see Blue Relics. After that is Star. Star is hunter specific. And then Moon is a all-encompassing troop type. Throw a Moon set on any beast and you get buffs. So out of all the relic sets, Moon is the weakest. But at some point replace it with the beast specific relic. That is a complete overview of Blue Relics, which you can look at those yourself. In your inventory, all you do is click on it, and clicking on it tells you what that individual relic buff is. Don't get confused that, it says barbarian attack and also rider attack. There are sets that will tell you specifically what the max buff is, and that'll tell you specifically the troop type that it's associated with. I'm excited. This EOC has been really fun to see all the benefits of the Star Blessings, to see the benefits of Blue Relic Chests being dropped, and I'm able to get some of the purples from those blue chests. Stellar. And my next video will be covering the purple chests, or the purple relics. So I'm excited to work on that next. And I will jump into some of the specific relic items because I want to show you how to smelt. I want to show you how to refine those relics. I hope you found this content very beneficial. Like I said, my Facebook page has a lot of the visuals that will help make sense of this. My YouTube channel has a lot of the videos that go into great detail. It takes a lot to make these videos. I appreciate you taking the time to watch them. I hope it's helpful. And if you and your mates get more subscribers for me, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. This has been Jason with GXP. I'm out.